Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, you ready to get recorded now, yeah, for the interview?
Yes, man, come on, man, stop playing, man. I'm ready I'm ready to fight.
Anything you want to tell the public out there?
I am the greatest!
Right, left, you're toothless, and then you say, God damn it.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Get knocked out, damn.
Word is born, I'ma smoke 'em, you don't make no move. What? Treat it like boxing, stick and move, nigga.
Left, right, left, right, left, right. And he was out for the night.
You know we need that trademark bark before you depart from our company, man. You know what I mean? Can we get the barking? And we're gonna need that bark. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, Jesus Christ, fellas. Dog is coming.
I don't care if he knocked you down or is ready to go with him. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. All the way, mate, all the way. Now you might start believing in the Dark Destroyer.
Shadow boxing when I hurt you on the radio. I just don't know.
Boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes.
I got knowledge, another sucker's lacking.
I don't know if you want to answer. Possible Manny Pacquiao fight with Floyd Mayweather. How you feel about that?
Well, basically, I mean, it's a fight that still has a potential to happen.
I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. There's no one that can match me.
Boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes.
I was tweet earlier on. I saw you tweet earlier on.
What was it?
It was about David Price
fighting Thompson. What's his name? Tony Thompson.
Hold on. He's about to fight Tony.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We want to get your thoughts on that because you were saying no disrespect to the UK fighters, but you don't think he's that good.
Well, I mean, I think it might have been a bit out of context. I mean, I haven't seen much of him. I think it's maybe his body of work. You know what I mean? Hasn't been up to, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at. When I look at these things, like when I look at these, you know, these tweets and stuff these people send. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, guys from over there to support their UK guys. I mean, I have nothing against that, and I'm not saying that I'm not, you know, completely just discounting that David Price could be a really, really, you know, good fighter in the future. You know what I mean? But at this point, his body of work and the guys he's faced is a little bit to be desired. I mean, he still has a little bit of work left to do to really prove he's among the elite. He's definitely a talent, and he's on his way up. But
You're not impressed, Bates. See, because we speak our minds here. If you're not impressed, just
Yo,
I
man,
mean, we don't mind if you say.
Man, Eddie, if you don't listen, man, if you don't think he's good as a bum, you think he's a bum, man. It ain't no thing to
it's
us.
no big deal.
No. Listen. I leave that to like certain media guys, man, to say about fighters. Fighters, I know what it takes to get in the ring, and if you can beat another man,
Yeah, that's true.
with those two gloves on, you got two hands, and you're able to beat anybody. I mean, even if it's now, of course, if you call yourself elite, you got to beat competition, and I mean being really honest. David Price hasn't beat elite competition, so he's looking good against you know, fairly average and pedestrian type fighters. You know, most people would look at my body of work and say, "Oh, well, you ain't really did this and that," but then when you look at the guys' records that I've faced and what they've done, even those who were considered,
I'm going to be honest here, yeah. I'm going Eddie. I need to ask you a question, only because a few people listening to this might say the same thing about you. So, have you ever beat a legitimate top 10 heavyweight?
have I ever beat one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat Calvin Brock was probably a top 5.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know if at the time if what's his name?
Dimitrenko?
When was at the time?
Where was Dimitrenko?
Huh?
Is it Dimitrenko? You beat the Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was quite ranked.
Was Derek Rossi ranked in the top 10 at the time? When I fought him? I'm not talking about the first time. I'm talking about the second time. The second
he
time,
was moving up the rankings.
The top 10, I'm not sure. He might have been number 10.
He was moving up the rankings.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, the only reason I asked that is that So if people say, well, Eddie hasn't beat no top 10 contenders either. So, you know, so you done that. So if that's fair enough. No, Price hasn't fought stiff opposition. He hasn't. Not yet.
But how you?
Yeah, I mean,
How you?
Go ahead.
No. How you see the Thompson? How you see Thompson? Because like I saw in the tweet, you said it depends what Thompson turns up. If Thompson turns up to fight, then Price is in trouble. But if Thompson just turns up like he wants to lay an egg, then it's he ain't really gonna get tested. What do you think?
well, I think Tony. I've known Tony for a long time. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay. Oh, he's a good friend. Oh, he's a good friend of yours. Okay.
Yeah, but listen, but aside all that, you know what I mean. We're talking about boxing and what matchups are. Because I've seen David Price recently and what he's done. But like I said, it really takes to get in there with a real top guy. And I think Tony's one of those guys. The only problem is, Tony's a bit older now, and he's had some tough fights recently with Wladimir twice.
Yes.
Other fights where he's been successful, but some fights are tough. But and I think he's a real test. Tony is a big guy, just like David Price is. He's very awkward. He's not a huge puncher, but the way he fights, it's like he's just for me being a smaller guy trying to fight him. Especially him being a southpaw really makes it difficult. Now when you're taller, it's not going to be obviously as hard to get only because you're on that same level as him. But it's still a very complicated style that Tony brings to the table. And if David Price can beat him, then he legitimately beat somebody who I think is one of the top heavyweights, especially American heavyweights in the world right now. So I mean, like I said. It depends on which Tony shows up and if Tony has enough left. You know what I mean? Because, look, let's be honest. Tony's a little older. You know what I mean? He's still a good fighter, and he shows that he still can, do some things if he's healthy. You know what I mean? If he's 100% healthy. So I just want to see what he can do in this fight, and this is a good test for Price to see where he's at.
So would you be targeting the winner then? You obviously be targeting the winner of a fight.
He's fighting at Cruiserweight beats.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting Eddie's moved back down,
what's going on with your fight? What's going on with your fight with what's that guy's name again? That Russian guy.
Lebedev.
Yeah, is that sign? Is that sign still delivered? What's going on there?
Well, the way that's looking is now that Don King stepped in and said that they want him to have to fight Guillermo Jones before Guillermo gets stripped. Because I mean, I think Jones hasn't fought in I don't know how long, and he still hasn't been stripped of the title. Most people would have been stripped already, but Don has that credibility where people, they give him more than enough chances to, keep his fighters in the loop. So, and that's no disrespect to anybody or, to Don and saying anything about him, but it's just that he has that gift. But, so right now it's looking like that's going to be the fight with him and Guillermo Jones.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm just basically waiting to see what pops up. There's other fight possibilities. There's, I'm hearing that Latif Coyote would want to step in and get some work.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hey, Zane, these are things that have been presented to me, and I'm just sitting around and I'm a little disgusted with some of the things that are going on with the sport. You know what I mean? And
what you mean?
People were actually saying that Latif is looking better in the gym now. So,
again?
I've heard that Latif is looking a lot better in the gym recently.
Yeah, and that's good. You know what I mean? I don't want an easy fight. I want, don't get me wrong. Of course, getting used to the weight is important. But I mean, I've been this weight now for months. I've been around 200 to 205 pounds.
Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight, man. You want to fight, man. So who you want, man? You're waiting Hook, man. Marco Hook. You got all Kavlavi. You know what I'm saying? You got man.
Yeah, there's a lot of. But the problem is with these guys. Some of these guys aren't willing to fight.
What about
if I got a title?
Yeah. Over McKenzie, man. He's the British and Commonwealth champion right now, man. That's a good fight. Over McKenzie.
Yeah, I mean, listen. At this point, I would just about not say take anything. You know what I mean? I want to worth it, but it's. I don't know, man. It's like I said. I'm just want to discuss it with the way the fight game is, and in this. In some of these divisions, like the Cruiserweight division, I mean, it's not like we're getting millions upon millions of dollars and everything to where we need to sit on these titles and keep making money fight. Those fights aren't getting you that much. They may be getting you six figures, and that's not even really, that's not lit. I mean, that's just existing. You don't want to be like that in the sport of boxing. So why not unify? Why not make it exciting? Why not get some real big-time title fights at the Cruiserweight division? Maybe they'll get us a little bit more interest. Maybe people want to start putting some of these fights on television here in the States, and it'll be more of a glory division instead of just being a little lead up to the heavyweight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I think a lot of these champions, you know, being at heavyweight and all, but even though, well, you know, the Klitschko brothers are now they have to fight everybody, so because they got the belts, all the belts, but everybody wants to sit on the titles. You know what I'm saying? They just want to sit on them and try to make as much money as possible, and it hurts the sports, and it really doesn't give the opportunity to other really good, perhaps great fighters to get opportunities to fight.
Can I just inject into this a little? Now, boxing is a product, yeah? And without you guys, the boxers, there is no product, right? Basically, right? These promoters can't earn no money if you guys don't fight. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of boxers, like female boxers, and like you guys need to make a little lobby. Like I know you're good friends with Chris Bird. I think you and you guys need to get together and get some manpower together and start making some demands, man. That, you know, you get some parity and fairness in the judges' decisions, in the matchmaking, you know, because you're looking for a big fight, and by now you should be able to get a big fight. You've already proved what you can do in the ring. It shouldn't be that, you know, people shouldn't be allowed to duck you like that.
You're absolutely right. You know, you're absolutely right. But the problem with that is, you know what I mean, it's, you know, the powers that be aren't. It's funny because they're really not fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if me and Chris Bird and, you know, a lot of other name guys out there, even some bigger names, it would still be very, 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 very difficult to get certain things, because the people who are in power right now are happy with the way things are going because they're still making a lot of money.
Yeah, they are.
And to them, the legacy of the sport isn't as important as making sure that their pockets are lined. I hate to say it that way, but it's just the way it looks.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the way things are happening.
I agree.
If you look at the fights and the decisions and the things that are going on, the sport is like, man, what's going on? They're losing fans by the day, and it's because, you know, some of these people see their favorite fighters and they see them win a fight and then they come out a loser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's wrong.
You see, but the thing is,
sometimes they won't see their favorite fighter, not even because of injury, not even because of suspension. It's just because of the people who are in power don't want him or her or whatever in the public eye. They don't care for them to fight. So they want their guys in there. They're going to put their guys in front of the cameras. They're going to make sure they get all the opportunities. So the people who were fans of that one fighter now say, well, the hell with boxing. We're going to go and do something. We're going to go and watch basketball or football or something here, especially here in the States. It just becomes, or we're going to go watch MMA because we like combat sports. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a tough,
but the thing is,
sell.
The thing is, you're not going to change everything overnight. But if you guys voice your stories, right, and you'll be surprised, you'll have more backing than what you think. It won't be just boxers, you know. You might even get some people with some dough in their pocket to give your movement some muscle. And it needs to happen, because unless it happens, these, like, the alphabet bodies, right, and the commissions, they're not going to do shit. They're just going to keep it going and line their pockets. Corrupt judging, corrupt decisions, weak matchmaking. Something needs to happen. Right. Like, the first month I was watching boxing, right, this year, right, I was actually marking it. The first championship fight I watched, it was with Roman Martinez and the other guy. Immediately, bad decision. First championship fight I watched, bad decision. And it's just going to continue.
Yep.
There's no motivation to change it, and I think it's got to come within the boxers. You are the product.
And you know why it's no motivation is because, you know, despite you know, the loss of fans, I mean, there are still very, very, very loyal fans to the sport of boxing. So pay-per-views, like big fights like Floyd Mayweather fights and fights like that who demand a lot of attention, even to, you know, with the lay fans who don't even really pay attention to boxing, they'll still watch that or go to the fight. So those pay-per-views are still thriving and sometimes bigger than, you know, some of the biggest ever. You know what I'm saying? So That's why. And the people that are involved with that are making so much money that, man, they don't care, man. They don't care. See, the thing is, we can have so many stars, so many more stars than we do. Like, look at the NBA, look at the NFL. I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. You guys from here from the UK.
Nah, man, of course, man. I watched the Ravens of course, man. Ravens 70. I watched it yesterday, man. Of course, man. Of course, man. Go on.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
No.
They got so many stars, so many people that can't walk down the street in those sports, and it's because in the States, those in some other countries as well. I don't want to forget y'all, but they're so big. They're like super stars, and it's like, man. Don't get me wrong, football is a really tough sport, and the NFL is a really tough sport, and you guys get hurt, and they play injured, and they do a lot of similar to the things that we do. But one thing about fighters, you got to get in front of one man and slug it out with him for 12 rounds in the championship fight.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many people on the planet, besides the ones that do it, obviously, that can actually say, hey, I'm going in there, and I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to put my life on the line. And I just think that we should be looked at as stars, because we're doing things in there that not a lot of people in any sport could do. You know what I mean? And I just think that when you just want to keep your one guy, one moneymaker, and not shed light on all these other people who are out here who are really talented, really athletic, really have all this other good things about them. I'm not just talking about Americans. I'm talking about all over the world. I think it's a problem, and I think that's why the sport is where it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And where is that? Where is that exactly? Where is the sport? Where would you say it's at?
I say is as good as certain pay-per-views do, is down. You know what I mean? When people like if you were here in the States and you like, even if you aren't, you still probably see it. If you're looking at ESPN, right? You'll see it always has a place for baseball, football, basketball, any sport. Even bowling sometimes, even though I love bowling, don't get me wrong. But boxing pops up on the bottom line as like an afterthought. Unless it's on ESPN Friday Night Fights, which even then it still doesn't come up on the bottom line as something that's important. It'll be breaking news: Wladimir Klitschko wins the fight, or Floyd Mayweather wins his title fight. And it's like, there's only been, I'm telling you, if you watch it, there's only been 2 or 3 of those. I don't want to say a year, but at least for every 5 to 6 months, you'll see that on the bottom line. It's like nobody cares nor pays attention to the sport of boxing. You'll have Andre Ward, who's one of the best 168-pounders, maybe ever. You know what I mean? And it might pop up on there. There should be more interest in that. It really should be, but it's not.
Yeah, but you know what it is though. I was talking to it's how the heavyweight division goes. How boxing goes out of heavyweight division. When the Klitschkos finally step down apart, then we can see what's up, because like yourself and some other guys in there's some really good contenders for the belt. I know who's gonna hold the belt, but what I'm saying is that there's gonna be some really good interesting fights to be the number one guy. Because the Klitschkos, if they ain't fighting each other, that's what it is. And heavyweight division in boxing, if heavyweight division is really good, the boxing is usually in a good state. You know what I'm saying? Or the middleweight division, like even the middleweight, because the middleweight class has always been kind of decent. But like the super middleweight, not so. You know what I'm saying to say? So you got them divisions. Usually, like the mainstream people know about the middleweight, lightweight, heavyweight, and if they're really good, then boxing's usually in a good state. But it's guys that are flying through weights. The heavyweight division, the Klitschkos ain't fighting no one, and Germany's really big. But it's like it's a world thing. It's exclusive to Germany. It's like they took their basketball or football and took it to Germany and they kept it moving.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. 100%. But see, the thing is, just because the heavyweight division, or just because the lightweight or the middleweights aren't the marquee ones, that still should not keep people from being interested.
No.
And what keeps people from being interested now, and like you said, in Germany, it's just as big as ever. In Canada, you know what I mean. I'm not sure about Mexico much, but in those countries, the sport is still huge, and I'm pretty sure Russia and Ukraine and places like that is very, very big over there because of who the champions are. But it still should not say, well. And I think a lot of it has to do with the titles. There's so many titles and everything, and it's kind of hard for people to follow too. But there's still a lot of good guys coming up. you know, your David Price, you know what I mean? You have Hay that was around. You have Tyson Fury. You got Kubrat Pulev. All of those guys over there, and then over here, even though a lot of these guys over here are untested, and a lot of it is because they want to hear. The key to it is to keep them credible, keep them alive, keep them undefeated until they get to that big prize. You know what I mean? We got like Seth Mitchell and Brian Jennings and Deontay Wilder and those kind of guys running around. When really you got guys like myself, Malik Scott, and Tony Thompson, who really has a shot at being the number one heavyweight in the world if the brothers aren't there. And they're being completely overlooked. You know why? Because first of all, for the most part, I'm too small. In most people's eyes, and I guess I lack the knockout power. Although I've never.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they say. That's what they say.
But Thompson's had 2 cracks at the title.
And Tony Thompson is another one that really lacks the big power. So does Malik Scott. However, all of us has real skills. Malik being has smaller guy skills.
Yep, that's true.
Tony's a little different, a little more awkward. But we have a chance to be world champions for real here from the States.
But hold on.
They're going to overlook us.
Tony Thompson's had 2 cracks at the title.
I'm not saying that Brian Jennings or because I think he's getting better by better each fight, but I'm not going to say Deontay Wilder doesn't have a future. Him being a bronze medalist, he's marketable, and Seth Mitchell can't win titles. I'm just saying the skills that we have and the experience that we've incurred all over all these years of being professionals counts for something.
Yeah,
we
but
really
Eddie,
have a shot at being champions.
Eddie,
so we're going to get overlooked because we're not knocking everybody dead every single time we throw a punch.
Eddie,
that's the issue.
But Tony Thompson's had 2 cracks at the title, so he's had his opportunity. He's had 2 cracks.
Say it again.
Eddie, Tony Thompson has had 2 cracks at the heavyweight championship.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying aside from the brothers being there. Now I'm not saying that it's impossible for any of us to beat them, but it's just going to be a very difficult sell because even if we did win the fight by decision, it's not going to be too fair of a decision because they hold all the cards. Not saying that they wouldn't beat us easier. Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? It's just what I'm saying is once they're gone, we really have the shot. But the people that are in position right now to win those titles are people that I think are at least a few years away. That being Seth Mitchell, B.Y. Jennings, and Deontay Wilder. They're still, I believe, a year or so away from really being completely ready for a challenge like that, for being a world champion. I think.
Yeah, you see the
Not
thing
saying
is,
they won't get there, I think we're title ready right now. Now, of course, Tony Thompson is, like I said, he's a little bit older. He's been through 2 tough cracks with Wladimir, and I've been through 1, but I feel like I have more than enough left. And I know that Malik Scott, he's undefeated. He hasn't really been. Most people say he hasn't been tested enough. He hasn't stepped up enough. But I know his skill level. I watched him, and once he gets in there, you'll see it too. Problem is, we're not knocking guys out. That's another issue. We're not loved by the big networks as much as we would want. We would like to be.
You see, but the thing is,
it's hard for us to get in that position.
You have to look at heavyweight history, though, right? Apart from Muhammad Ali, who wasn't a concussive puncher, right? The heavyweights is a division where guys like Joe Louis put their man away, and Foreman. They expect 17 stone odd fighters to put their man away. That's what they expect to see, and that's why, especially, and I don't want to bring race into it. Black fighters are said by a lot of people, it's not always true, that they're not ticket sellers. But if they can bang, they do sell tickets. That's why guys like Deontay Wilder, if he can maintain that punching power as he moves up, he will be a marketable heavyweight fighter. And at heavyweight, there's no way around it. You either have to have a lot of extra charisma, or you have to have biased fans. I'm not saying Thomas Adamek or the Klitschko's are biased fans, but they'll stick by them thick through thin. They'll stick by them,
Right.
And
I agree. But I think it's a little unfair in a sense because now if you look at the size of the heavyweights, see back when Joe Louis and Jersey Joe and Marciano and all those guys were fighting heavyweight, they were 188 to 200 pounds. Even when Ali was around. You know what I mean? The biggest one was George Foreman and Ron Lyle and guys like that who were probably 225 or 230. The biggest, the largest guys, 6'4", 6'5". They were big. Don't get me wrong. But now they would be average size.
Yep.
So this is my issue. When you look at the Joe Louis era, I'm more cut from their cloth. I'm that kind of that size of fight. I believe if I'm fighting in the cruiserweight division, which was what their weight was back then, I'm a knockout puncher. I hit you, I'm knocking you out. And that's because you're my size. Just like if you put me, if I was 147 pounds, I'm fighting guys that are 147 pounds, I'm 147 pounds too. Every time I hit you, you're going to feel my 147 just like I'm feeling yours. Now, in the heavyweight division, I'm fighting guys 250, 260, 270, and I'm dropping some of these big dudes. What does that mean? I mean, I guess it means, oh, well, he's not knocking anybody out. Well, yeah, they're 290. They're 800 pounds. How the hell am I supposed to knock them out? It's kind of hard to knock out. Their head weighs about 40 pounds more than mine. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to knock that out all the time. And better than that, sometimes it's hard to reach it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different when you're trying to say, okay, when you're looking in the past, which I agree with you, those are great fighters, and they were knocking guys dead at that time. Some of them were knocking out big guys, but it wasn't a huge percentage of big guys out there at that time. They were more the same size.
But at the same time, Eddie, the heavyweight division is what it is. So it is what it is. Yeah. It's made for big guys, so that they can go to that limit. Yeah. And I did ask you a question the last time we interviewed. I think it was you. Is there a case to make a heavyweight division and a super heavyweight division then?
There's been a case for that for so long. You know what I mean? It's been to the point where it's necessary, because if you think about it, take a look at the smallest weight division, which in the world, which is strawweight, which is 108 pounds, right? Or 105 pounds, 108 pounds. Would it be fair? We're not even going to go to the strawweight. Honestly, I really don't know of any real, fighters of that weight. Honestly.
I think he was down there, like Ricardo López. Ricardo López.
Okay, well, Ricardo López was flyweight. And flyweight to bantamweight. Flyweight, I think, Ricardo López.
Okay, all right.
Would it be? Okay, we're going to do that. Would it be fair for Ricardo López to fight Floyd Mayweather?
I don't know.
No, it wouldn't.
And Ricardo López is one of the greatest fighters ever. Yeah, he never lost a fight. One of the greatest fighters of all time. Would it be fair for him to fight one of the other greatest fighters of all time, being Floyd Mayweather?
No, he wouldn't.
No, it'd be ridiculous.
Oh, all right. So why is it fair for me, who is actually smaller than Ricardo López in comparison to Floyd Mayweather, to fight Wladimir Klitschko? Because if you look at that, it's the same weight difference.
Well, you could beat Floyd.
Except actually, I'm a little bit more lighter in the ass than he is to Vladimir than he is to Ricardo López to Floyd Mayweather, or about comparable. It's about the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that? I mean, is it really fair? Because then when you start looking at, now I understand what people are going to say. Well, Floyd Mayweather is athletic, and Wladimir Klitschko is athletic. If you look at the NBA players across the world now, 6'7", 6'8", they can do stuff that 6'1" guys can do. They can do stuff that guys that are 5'8" can do now, and they're fast. LeBron James is one of the fastest guys in the NBA, and if you know LeBron, he's one of the fastest guys in the NBA, and he's 6'8", 250 pounds.
Yeah, I know LeBron James.
Is that fair?
He was over
Is that fair?
No, he was over it the other day. He was over London the other day, but no, it's not fair. Nah, it's not fair.
You see what I'm saying? So how is Ricardo López fighting Floyd Mayweather the same? I mean, it's not the same as me fighting Wladimir Klitschko. He's still athletic. He's a little more mechanical in certain things than of course, a lot more mechanical in certain things than Floyd Mayweather is. And Mayweather has a bit of a different style than him because of the way the guys they're facing and the skill level they face every night when they fight. But what I'm saying is the size difference. It becomes two different weight classes, you know? And that's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, but David Hayes, when David Hayes fought Valleywith and Van der Holy fought Valleywith, they knew the size of the advantage. You know what I'm saying? That was even worse, like 7 foot.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, now when David Hayes fought Vladimir and David Hayes lost. I'm sorry, my fault. David Hayes when he fought Valleywith. Yeah, but see, look how athletic Valleywith versus... Now, David Hayes not a super small guy himself. David Hayes 6'3".
I told you.
He might not be heavy, but that's because he's moving up from the cruiserweight division. If he's been a heavyweight for years, he'd probably be in the 220s. You know what I'm saying? I'm even if I fought David Hayes, like he still would be out of the weight class if I was 147 and he was 160. It would be the same thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like it's so many weight classes involved in the heavyweight division, but it's hard to break them up and say, well, you got to fight a guy here because there's not a lot of guys that are that way. So I do understand. There's not but more so overseas. There's so many guys overseas though, like in England and Germany and Ukraine, because basketball. See, over here we have basketball and football, like the NFL and everything. So guys over here are going to be drawn to that because they're making obviously a lot more money. You know what I mean? And they're big guys, and that's what most people, when they watch TV, that's what they see over here. So they're going to be more apt to go after that rather than being a boxer anymore. So, but overseas, those guys are seeing fighters that are that big, and that's what they want to do. So when you're talking about matching guys up from overseas to here, we're automatically going to be smaller because guys my size, we'll be fighters in the heavyweight division. But that's because we're used to that size. If you go back in history, that's what most of us were. There's not that many who were really that big as heavyweights here in the States. There's a few, but there's not as many as overseas. Most of the guys overseas were really big.
Yep.
So that's my only argument. I guess I'm saying all this stuff to say, oh yeah, we should have 2 weight classes. But look, I don't care. I'll take a challenge. I'll fight big guys. I've fought them my whole career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll fight small guys. I'll fight big guys. I'll fight whoever they put in front of me. That's just the way it's been.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. He's an underrated boxing mind. A lot of people don't, and they're not giving him his due respect, but a lot of it is because he's not been able to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As great as Emmanuel Stewart is, he was in the shadow of Emmanuel, and he's been a great help to Emmanuel, and a lot of the information that he has, he's been able to use in help Emmanuel in certain regards, as well as vice versa. So, you know what I mean? Now he's going to get a chance to get out there. I'm hoping that I can be that one of the guys to help him do that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're definitely staying in contact with him.
Eddie, so before we head out, so who are we looking for? A potential fight with Latif Coyote? Is that the match your people are looking at right now?
Yeah, which guys you got? Which guys you got on the table?
If the Lebedev thing doesn't happen, which it's still not completely out of the picture yet.
Yeah.
But the way it's looking is it's not going to.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, then possibly the Coyote situation, which I don't care. I just need to get in there and get a fight. That's all.
Yeah, man, you need to get a fight, man.
Activity is important, and I need to get in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Right,
I mean, when you're fighting named guys, it's hard to fight them. If you're fighting nobodies, you'll probably get a fight like tomorrow. But you want to fight a named guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
If you want to fight somebody that is going to get people interested in it and want to see, want to pay attention to it, it's going to take a little bit more time to get those things done. However, if you're like you said, if you were trying to fight just anybody, you could get a fight on, just anybody in there. And
why not though? Eddie, why not, man? Why not? Let's get any guy in there and let's roll him over, man. Let's get another guy in there. Because you know why? A durable guy though. And then you know what I'm saying? And this, because the thing is, you'll keep him busy. You know what I'm saying? You can win the fight, and it'll just keep you busy. Because you know what I mean? You build up. You're at a stage of your career, and you can't be waiting on people. Like, fuck it, man. I'm waiting. It's like, man, if I go fight, let me gut this guy. I'll beat him up. And then in the meantime, I got this fight waiting. So you got things going on.
So you're right. You're right. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I just need a fight. I mean, if you look at my past few, I've had one fight that was a fight that really was just like, hey, man, just staying busy. Really. In the last few years, there's been one fight that I had that was like that. Every other fight was a meaningful fight. Win, lose, or draw. Meaningful fight.
Yeah.
So, most of them have been 12-round fights.
Yeah, that's right. They have. Yeah, they have.
So it's like when people look at my career, my record, and everything. It's like, and I used to say this about, I'm like, man, they make him fight tough fighters all the time. That's crazy. And I look at guys like that guy Antoine Smith, and if you look at his resume, I mean, he's doing nothing but fight. He keeps fighting guys that are supposed to beat him and all this. And I looked at him, and I'm saying, dang, he getting put in tough again. And I'm like, dang, wait a minute. Stuff keep happening to me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I turn around, I'm tell for somebody else.
Yeah, that's
and I'm like, goodness.
Man,
that's me.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Well, I was gonna say you can break off someone. That's what I'm saying. You might as well help one of them smooth fries out, man. Give them a payday. Shit, you a big thing. Yeah, give them a payday.
Honestly, I just want to get active. You know what I mean? Whoever it is, I'm ready to take them on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need a fight like that.
Yeah, you do, son. You do, man.
But you know what? For me, I like having competition. I've noticed
Yeah,
that.
I know, but you see what
Like
I know that, but you see what I'm saying to you, that it's like you're getting a fight and you're getting your stuff out your ring, and you got things on the horizon, man. Because you can't let these guys dictate your career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because let me give you an example, right? Because I know like we was gonna go, but Josie Alushikin, right? Josie Alushikin is the worst example I've ever seen of someone who let the sanctioning bodies decide his career. Now this guy was really good. He was active. He left England and he made himself a mandatory for the WBC. And he sat down. And they sat down for 3 years, almost 2 years, and let himself be inactive because he wanted to fight for that belt. Man, I was like, damn, like you got other sanctions. Fuck that bitch, right? Go on another sanction. But he goes, oh, I'm scared of losing. Like so freaking what, man? You can fight anyone. You could have fought another guy, right, and kept yourself active and still kept busy in the public eye. And I'm saying the same thing to you. Like you could choose a guy who's going to test you, make you durable, and you still gonna have a fight. You ain't gonna take nothing. Your skills are sharp. By the time you get a fight, man, you're gonna be out of your. You know what I'm saying? When Jose Lushkin fought the Tise, man, he should have Tise, but because he was out of the ring so long, his inactivity and his timing was he lost. And now, like, look at him now. He ain't even fighting no. He's still fucked up. His head's still fucked up. So I don't want that happening to you. You just moved down the cruiserweight. There's a fight. There's loads of fights you used to get, right? Just fight a guy. You're a name guy. But that shit, you get the big percentage of the money and just get a fight, bro.
Yeah, honestly, I hear you, and believe it or not, those are things that I've already made plans to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff you're saying right now.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point. It's like, hey, I have really no choice but to be in that position. Beggars can't be choosers in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And right now, I need a fight. Now, of course, I'm not begging for a fight. I need to have one because I don't want to be too out of sight, out of mind in this situation. And believe me, most of the time, these last few years, I've been out of sight. So I need to get in there and stay relevant and stay active and stay sharp, to be honest.
Right.
Because when the opportunity comes about, you've got to be ready. And if you're out for so long, don't get me wrong, you'll be fresh, but you're going to be stale. You're not going to have the sharpness that you would have liked to have had.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And you just had an injury as well. You know what I mean? You want to test. You want to test. You know, the arm and stuff. You might as well test it on a guy you don't know much. See how the arm is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't necessarily go in against. I mean, you want the fight, though. You're in the cruiserweight division, and everyone knows you there, and they're all scared of you. So it's like fight a guy in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll tell you, Over McKenzie. I know you don't know too much about him. Over McKenzie's a good fight. You know, from the UK. You know, we could talk. Hey, we could talk to some people, yo. Have you on a UK show like next week and try and have you talking, calling out them guys there. There's Over McKenzie. There's Enzo McAnally, who was a former champion. Yeah, we talked to Steve Bunce. He's a promoter. He's the guy who runs the show is called I know you know him, Frank Warren. And we can have you on that show on Monday, and you could be calling out the guys there, man.
Hey, that sounds good to me. I mean, I'm
gonna hook that up. I'm gonna hook that up for you. I'm gonna talk to Steve Bunce. I'll put your number in, and I'm gonna get back to you to let you know that so next Monday you might be on the show in the UK, and you can call out them guys, Enzo McAnally and Over McKenzie, and you get that, and you get this shit. We get this shit moving. All right?
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Opportunities. That's all I'm looking for, and that's one, and I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Not too big to say I can't take it. So let's try it. Let's see what happens.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that straight away. I'm definitely gonna do that. All right.
I appreciate that, man. Stay in touch.
No worries. We will. And also about your trainer. I messaged you about and let me know about your trainer tomorrow, son. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, man. All right, take care, Eddie, man. Peace.
Yo,
man, I appreciate
Eddie,
that.
take care, man.
All right, take care, man. Peace.
Right.
Let's get ready to rumble! Yeah, you ready to get recorded now, yeah, for the interview?
Yes, man. Come on, man. Stop playing, man. I'm ready I'm ready to fight.
Anything you want to tell the public out there?
I am the greatest!
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Get knocked out. Damn.
Word is born, I'ma smoke 'em, yo, don't make no move. What? Treat it like boxing, stick and move.
Left, right. And he was out for the night.
You know we need that trademark bark before you depart from our company, man.
Pacquiao fight with Floyd Mayweather. How you feel about that one?
Well, basically, I mean, it's a fight that still has the potential to happen.
I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey, there's no one like me. I'm from their claw, there's no one that can match me.
Boxing, beats, and rhymes. Boxing, beats, and rhymes. Boxing, beats, and rhymes. Boxing, beats, and rhymes.